Ryan Wellings video analysis. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Previously, I explained to you how Ryan Wellings, a man who was found guilty of assault and coercive and controlling behaviour in relation to his former partner, Kiana Dawes, is a narcissist. The behaviour that he exhibited and continues to exhibit demonstrates his sense of entitlement, his absence of emotional empathy, the lack of accountability for his behaviours. Various manipulative behaviours, many of them rudimentary, his absence of boundary recognition, and so many different aspects of the narcissistic dynamic. The Centre for Women's Justice issued a statement in response to the verdict. The statement reads as follows. On the 13th of January 2025, Ryan Wellings was found not guilty of manslaughter and guilty of assault and coercive and controlling behaviour between January 2020 and July 2022, demonstrating that this is not a situation of one-off behaviours caused by an external stressor reducing emotional empathy, but rather an individual who has no emotional empathy, who has control hardwired into the way that he behaves, demonstrated by the fact that he engaged in this behaviour time and time again. The statement continues, Wellings is the first defendant to be tried before a jury accused of the unlawful killing of his partner after Kiana Dawes took her own life following domestic abuse. During the trial, the jury heard evidence of the abuse Kiana endured over 2 years. In a note she left before taking her own life on the 22nd of July 2022, she wrote, I was murdered, and accused Wellings of killing her. The defence highlighted Kiana's history of mental health struggles, thoughts of suicide, and attempts to take her own life before and after she met Wellings. Kiana had been diagnosed with emotionally unstable personality disorder, resulting in increased impulsivity, poor self-esteem, and difficulty in relationships, a condition that was allegedly exploited by Wellings. Pausing there. A narcissist such as Wellings, one who is unaware, he does not know what he actually is, and he doesn't know that he needs to control, that he needs fuel, character traits, and residual benefits, will instinctively seek out an individual that has vulnerabilities such as those experienced by Kiana Dawes. It's almost the case that his narcissism sniffs these things out. I refer to them as special considerations, special traits, in my book Sitting Target, which explains how and why narcissists target people. In essence, she would be described, for the purposes of that book, as damaged, having these pre-existing conditions that made her vulnerable. And his narcissism, having no emotional empathy, would cause him to exploit those aspects of her personality. It's likely that she became dependent upon him quickly, and as a consequence, he would play upon that. He would bring up her past mental health problems to belittle her, to bring up the past to control her, to triangulate her with her own problems. He would undoubtedly use that to blame shift her. For example, saying that the problems in their relationship were down to the fact that she was a nutter, that she had mental health issues, and that it wasn't his fault, it was her fault. Many of you will recognise that not only being in the maelstrom of narcissistic entanglement, when you don't have such conditions, is confusing enough, but if you throw into the mix an individual who already has issues in relation to self-esteem, has a diagnosed issue in relation to unstable personality, and has difficulties in relationships, then it becomes almost a perfect storm. The discombobulating and controlling behaviour of the narcissist creating those shifting sands, which are very easy to start shifting because of the pre-existing conditions of the victim. Someone like Wellings would have no hesitation in exploiting this vulnerability and weakness of the victim, that he would use it against her, and that he would play upon her mental health difficulties, both in terms of upsetting her and then blaming her responses on her mental health problems. I'm going to play to you now a video which is a selection of items that were pulled together in relation to this narcissist and his victim. Some of it contains police footage. It's a few minutes long. I'm going to play it and then briefly take you through what you have seen, as it provides you with a useful insight into the two individuals involved in this case, and also it reaffirms the nature of this particular narcissist. Here's the video.
Right. All right. What's your name? What's your name? Kana? Kiana? What's happened? He's down. He's before you got out. No, he's downstairs with my colleague. Don't worry. Is it you that's called us? Matt, just try and take a deep breath, okay? We're here to help. Have you got a baby? Yeah. Where's your baby? Inside. Are you pregnant? Yeah. Sorry. Sorry, I got a bit confused then when you said it. Right, okay. So when are you due then? About 8 weeks? Yeah. Okay. I think the best thing is that he gets his stuff and goes for now, isn't it? Yeah, he'll take everything with him. Well, he won't. Away with a bag. He's not going to take everything, because we're going to come in with him and he can get his stuff and go. You lock the door behind you, and if he comes back, you ring us again. Yeah? And if he comes back, then he gets arrested. And that's not up to you then, that's up to us. Yeah. Yeah? Yeah, it's fine. Do you want to put some clothes on? Or your trying, yeah. Get your gym jams on. Yeah, I'll just step out so you can get your gym jams on, alright?
So, this has been going on since me and Ryan met. He has me under complete control with you, with everyone. Right. So he's blackmailed me basically to never ever say that I'm a victim of domestic violence. Right. I've spoken to professionals about it, obviously anonymously. Yeah. Samaritans and things like that. Yeah. I was put into hospital when I was pregnant. Right. Mental health hospital, which was due to such bad bullying. Yeah. I've been in hospital before because I have a mental health condition. Right. Okay.
Please, it's blood everywhere. Help! Help me! Help me! Help me, please!
Talk to you for 1 moment. What's your name, please?
It's Kiana Dawes. I really don't feel very well, but I've got the baby in my arms. But 1 minute, I just need to sit down. It's Ryan. It's so dad. No, put on down.
And where's he now?
He's gone, but there's blood everywhere. It's twisted. Wait, I need to think. It's really bad. He's gone. He's gone. My phone's going to end up breaking because it's covered in blood.
Right, so when did you call us?
I don't know. Just now. I need to call now. I pressed my buzzer a while ago before this happened. Oh, my head's killing me. But it's got a lot worse and he's knocked me out. But I've just woken up on the hallway floor and the baby's screaming. It's okay. It's okay. Look, everything's fine. Don't look at that. It's okay.
And your head's bleeding?
Yeah, I'm absolutely pouring with blood.
Do you need an ambulance?
I haven't looked at this just yet. I've just woken up. I was unconscious. It's pouring down my face, but I don't know what's happened. Well, I do know what's happened, but I don't know what's happened to the injury. It's okay, please.
And what's it called? Ryan what?
Ryan Wellings.
Wellings.
It's
do you know
okay,
his date
darling.
of birth?
It's okay. What's that, sorry?
Do you know his date of birth or how old he is?
Yeah, right. How old baby? 8 months. Whereabouts do you hurt it? I was in the head obvious one. Anywhere else you got any injuries at all?
I don't think you can see the injuries, but I've got my neck really hurts because my neck's gone stiff and in my wrist as well, but I haven't looked.
Right. Do you know what's happened? Like how he's done?
Yeah, well, this is... I don't... 1 minute, I can't think straight.
It's alright. You take your time.
This... I don't know where to start it, because I can't remember.
Okay.
No, I can remember, I will remember, I just can't think of it right now, because my head's fried. He's here.
Outside the flat.
I'm
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
In fact, it's probably around like this area where he's hit my head.
Yeah.
I've obviously...
So he's pushed the door into you, has he?
Yeah, he smashed the door straight off me.
Right.
And...
You've passed out here then?
I passed out here and I woke up with my head facing to the sofa and she was screaming.
Yeah.
Obviously I've seen all the blood and then I came out here.
Yeah.
Came to go down here.
Yeah.
To the window, and when I looked out the window he was getting into the taxi and I said, help me, you've knocked me out.
Yeah.
I need you to help because I'm here.
Yeah.
And he said, this is your own problem, got in the taxi and laughed.
Right. Lovely.
Is there anything in it?
No, nothing yet. Can I put it in there?
You give it to me, Cowie? She'll give it to you, mutual buddy.
Yeah, thank you.
Alright.
Like it was.
Mobile, anything like that?
No.
Please, have a sit down, buddy. So, Ryan, I'm sorry, mate.
I feel like I'm fucking cured.
I can't, listen, buddy, I'll just be straight with you. I can't discuss it with you now, mate. It's got to be on tape. Do you know what I mean? Okay. We'll get going to Blackpool.
The video commences with 3 short excerpts which give you a flavour of the person that Kiana Dawes was before Ryan Wellings entered her life. She can be seen doing the Ice Bucket Challenge, she can be seen dancing with a friend, and in a playful video with other friends also. It's clear that those videos, undoubtedly taken from people's social media, show her as a happy and relatively carefree individual, which, of course, all changed with the arrival of the narcissist. The next pieces of video are taken from police body cams. The first is from a female police officer who was attended following an incident, and you can see the impact that it has had upon Kiana Dawes. Basically, hitherto you saw her being full of life to now the desperation where she is suffering the abuse. You can see the distress that she's experienced when the first police officer attends and talks about how she's concerned about him going to take everything. Later, having composed herself, she then speaks to 2 police officers explaining that the behaviours had been going on since me and Ryan met and he has complete control. She recognises the way that he behaves, and yet notice that even at this juncture, recognising that he was controlling her, she still felt unable to do anything about it in terms of departing. She notes what was evidently something that would ignite his heated fury, where she states, "You've got basically to never ever say that I'm a victim of domestic violence." Labelling her as such would be seen as a criticism of him, because he would be seen as the perpetrator, and therefore that would threaten his control. She explains that she's spoken to professionals about it, the Samaritans and things like that, and she explains that she was put into hospital as a consequence of the bullying that she had been experiencing. 2 instances that demonstrate the behaviour that she had been subjected to. The next video is an audio call from Kiana Dawes, not too long before she took her own life, where, again, there is the distress that's evident and also that she's been assaulted. She's explaining that she's got the baby with her and that she has just recovered from having been knocked out. This demonstrates the rudimentary nature of Wellings in his need to assert control and his absence of emotional empathy. He assaults his partner. He assaults the mother of his child. He assaults the mother, his partner, when she's with a small baby. He simply does not care. And then, having done so, he departs. That she is rendered unconscious by the assault and basically disappears. That he attacks her, which is as a response to some form of threat to control that he experienced, which of course is a perception of his rather than an actual one. And thereafter, as an exhibition of heated, ignited fury, he assaults Kiana Dawes, resulting in her telephone call to the police. We are then shown body cam footage, which presumably is when the police attended following her call to the police. She's explaining what has happened to her in terms of the nature of the assault, and you will see that she is bearing injuries as a consequence of having a door slammed into her head. You can see that she is injured, and she came to following being rendered unconscious with the child and saw that Wellings, who offered no assistance to her, again underlying his absence of emotional empathy, that he simply departed, that he was getting into a taxi. She said, help me, you've knocked me out. And he stated, this is your own problem. And he got in a taxi and left. This again demonstrates the absence of accountability and emotional empathy, that having injured somebody, he then turns it around on her and suggests that it's her own problem, and he asserts control by withdrawal, getting in a taxi and departing. These instances are demonstrative of the sense of entitlement in the way that he treats her, the absence of accountability for his behaviour, and the complete absence of emotional empathy. It shows that his go-to manipulation was that of physical violence, a rudimentary one exhibited by heated, ignited fury, and we know from the earlier video that there was plenty of verbal violence and verbal insults also. The next video excerpt that you see is Kiana Dawes being videoed on a Ring doorbell as she passes a property to drop off her child on the 22nd of July 2022, before she then drove to a railway line, laid down in front of an oncoming train, and took her own life. You're able to see through these videos the change in relation to this person who started off a vivacious individual who clearly had some issues as reported, but nevertheless was largely happy. And then, as a consequence of her entanglement with Wellings, you see that she is upset, distressed, confused, and evidently a victim of physical assault. Thereafter, it became so much that her self-esteem, self-confidence, and will to live was ground down, leading to her leaving behind an 8-month-old child and resulting in her taking her own life. We then cut to the video which shows Wellings being arrested. For the narcissist, arrest is a threat to control. For a mid-range narcissist, it would also, if it was witnessed by other people, amount to damage to the facade. Wellings is not a narcissist that operates with a facade. Nevertheless, the fact that he is taken by 2 police officers and put into the back of a police van is a threat to his control. And his response? He cries. This is demonstrative of the mid-range aspect of his middle lesser status, that he is essentially a coward and a crybaby. Not to the extent of a middle range type B, he's far too aggressive for that. But in the instance where his control is threatened, with arrest in that moment and detainment. Gone is the bravado of this individual. Gone is the belittling and aggressive nature. Instead, he turns on the waterworks. He's crying for himself, but also in an attempt to make the police officer feel sorry for him, to assert control over that police officer through that particular pity play. It is a pathetic display, but once again it is a reaction of his narcissism. The final piece of video footage is taken by somebody who is videoing a video that has been placed on Wellings' social media profile. It isn't entirely clear from the footage what's actually being said, but it transpired that this was Wellings racing around in a motor vehicle, playing loud music and drinking Prosecco as a reaction to the fact that he'd just earlier been charged with manslaughter in relation to the death of Kiana Dawes. The fact that he was charged is a threat to his control, and on this occasion his narcissism sought to assert control indirectly by driving him to engage in grandiose behaviour, albeit rather stupid, of getting in a car, filming himself, driving around, drinking, and basically acting as if he doesn't care. This is demonstrative of his absence of accountability and the fact that he does not give two hoots about anybody other than himself. It is a flippant response, and it is done to the threat to control of being charged, that he wants to show, I don't care, I'm me, it's a load of nonsense. Thus, he's driving at speed, whilst filming, whilst drinking, demonstrating again what type of lowlife he is, and it's a bold and brash response to reject the threat to control. There are also insults that are thrown in towards Kiana Dawes in the content of the video, although you may not be able to discern them because it's not altogether clear what is being said because of the noise of the music and the way that he's talking. But this is a demonstration of what an unpleasant individual this man is, and his flippant and dismissive response underpinned again by his narcissism. A series of clips that helps you understand better the impact of the narcissist on the victim and also the various behaviours of the narcissist. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for watching.